Hey folks, my name is Rene Enriquez and you are watching Uncensored.
This is Rene Enriquez. Nickname Black Hand of the Mexican Mafia. Prison gang politics.
And then I waited and waited and waited, and they wouldn't tell me what my parole date was. It was like this top secret secure measure, right? I remember the process where they took me to the clinic, and I signed some parole papers, and and I knew it was real then. I was signing parole papers, right? I was getting on the phone with people that were calling me into the counselor's office and said, "You're coming home. We're arranging the transport. We're gonna have a team come get you. We're not gonna disclose the location." And then finally, they tell me it's going to happen. They says tomorrow at 5:30 during count time, we're going to get you out of there. We don't want to release you at normal hours, during visiting hours, or anything. We don't want anybody to see you or what car we're driving. So two SUVs full of special agents. Well, the night before, I start giving away everything. You know, I've seen guys pack up everything they own. Soups, Tupperware bowls, thermals, you name it. Old tennis shoes, magazines, letters, and walk out with bags and boxes of stuff. I mean, literally walk out with that stuff, right? And I swore I wasn't going to do it. I took some rocks. That was it. I gave everything away. I went to everybody like, hey, you need hygiene? Do you need, here's radios, here's TVs, whatever I had. I had a bunch of stuff, right? And I gave it all away to my friends, because I didn't want to lug that around. I took my prison ID. I have that right here. And I took that. I used to wear it on a lanyard. And because you have to have your ID everywhere you go. And when you walk in a chow, they want to see your ID. When you walk somewhere, they want to see your ID. Let me see your ID. Let me see your ID. Let me see your ID. And I have that with me. And my rock, right? Or my group of rocks. I have rocks in a couple locations, right? One on my desk, one on my car, some in my garden. I put some on Freedom, and they're living the free life now with me. Crazy, huh? It's a crazy thing. But I wanted them as a reminder, like this is how ugly this place is. Just rocks, right? Just rocks and dirt and steel and concrete. So I took them out for that purpose, to remind me. And I remember every program, I'd have guys out there say, look for unique rocks, man. So one guy named Sammy, he was the pastor in our church. He used to help me hunt for rocks. He was on the yard crew. So he'd help me, and he'd come like every other day, like with different rocks, and oh yeah, I like that one, and I'd throw the rest away, right? And then I'd go looking on the yard, just walking on the dirt track and looking around in the middle of the soccer field. I'd look around for rocks, and I found a couple of nice ones. So I gave everything away the night before. I couldn't really sleep. It was pretty difficult sleeping. And I remember that process. I remember that process really well. It was like the morning I waited. I thought they were going to come get me. And then the afternoon, nothing. Nobody called me. Nobody told me anything. And then finally, after when count was starting, they called me out. And I remember I had, I think, one little satchel or a little box full of stuff, like legal papers or something, stuff I really needed. And they took me and they gave me 2 bottles of Narcan and this medical admonition and a supply of medicine with my prescriptions. And I told them I don't use drugs. So it's law. It's law. We have to give you Narcan. I have it here. I have that Narcan right here. I still have it. I'm like, what am I going to do with this stuff? I don't use opiates, right? But they gave it to me, right? And I keep it in my emergency kit. I have an emergency first aid kit and survival kits here at the house. So I keep it there in the event that one of the neighbors, I don't think any of the neighbors use opiates, but You know, it's just good to have, I guess. Uh, but I have that Narcan, my little supply of medicines in a little box, my medical history that they give to you, your parole agreement, all that stuff, right? And they take me out through a work change, and a car's waiting there. So I get in the car or van, and they drive me out to R&R. And who's there? Captain Brian Rowe. Captain Brian Rowe's right there. He was my boss. He made me a clerk in a captain's clerk. Actually, I was the highest level clerk you could be on the yard, and it was Captain Rowe that did it. And Warden McDowell. Warden McDowell wasn't there, but Warden McDowell was pretty cool. They put me in the program office to watch over me, make sure nothing happened to me. And Captain Rowe is no inmate lover. He is not. He's staunch Republican, Jeff Gordon fan, NASCAR. Really stoic guy, man. Really quiet. Just wanted his coffee made in the morning. Wanted his office cleaned. And we did that. We took care of him, right? He kept me out of a lot of jams. He kept me out of the politics, which I really appreciated from the man. And he happened to be there during my release. He says, "Hey, I didn't plan this, dude." Because he wouldn't. I mean, he's not going to come over there and see me off. But Lieutenant Frias was right there. Jose Frias, the IGI. Brian Doherty from the SSU was right there. And his whole team. They got this team assembled of special agents. And they bring me my clothes. And it's a pair of shorts and a shirt. And we just sit in this tank at R&R, receiving and release. And it's really like, I don't sign anything. They just say, "Okay, let's go." And I remember walking out of the Sally Port, and it was like elation. But all this time, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like the governor called and said no. The courts are holding up. You know, they granted the governor's appeal because he had appeal in that process. There was 1,000 things going through my head. I said, "What are the legalities?" I was calling my attorney, Laura Shepard. What's going to happen? Can they stop it? And what if the courts grant that stay that the United States Attorney, the Attorney General filed on the behalf of the governor, stay on my release, right? So all this time, there's this trepidation in me, this anxiety that's so overwhelming that it just made me numb. Like it was nothing walking out that gate. Like I was going to court. That's what it felt like. I was going to court. And I get in the car. This is my last view at the place. I'm leaving the prison right now, and I gotta say, I ain't gonna miss it. I usually leave this place in cuffs, and I don't have any today. It's a way different feeling, way different feeling. And I'm not too excited, and I'm not too emotional. I feel kind of numb. I think it'll probably hit me when I get to the hotel with my wife, if I go to a hotel or wherever they place me at. Thank you. It's been a transition, to say the least. It has been a a lot for the past 24 hours. Not even 24 hours. I've been out of prison since 6 o'clock last night. It's maybe 18 hours, 17 hours since then, and I'm adjusting to it. I am really adjusting to this, and it's. I had anxiety yesterday. I mean, I thought that I would be cool because when I got out of prison, I was kind of neutral. I was actually kind of numb to everything. I was numb to the entire experience. I didn't think that there was going to be, any nervousness or anything like that. But as I was laying in bed with my wife last night, I felt anxiety. I mean, this is as we're sleeping. As we're trying to sleep, I felt I couldn't sleep. Like I had consumed a lot of coffee, and I felt jumpy, and she had problems getting to sleep as well. So we talked for an hour or so, just small talk and some serious talk, and then finally we started resting, and I noticed I was getting short of breath. And one of the things I've always told my wife is I just want to sleep with her the first night, not in a sexual sense, but to have her in my bed and to feel the warmth of her body. And that's what I tried last night, but I felt like anxiety because I have not slept in a bed with somebody for 32 years. I think it was a lot for me. So I felt myself getting short of breath. And hold on, I have a message on my phone. So it's strange that I have a cell phone. I'm learning how to use it. I know how to use a laptop. They're bringing my laptops today too. So I'll have 2 laptops set up here. I'll have my camera, my recorder, and all my necessary equipment for continuing recording. I can't do anything about the hum of the air conditioner. I don't know how to turn it off, but I kind of don't want it off. I come from a place where it gets to be 127, 128, 130 degrees on bad days, and they barely installed a cooler. This is real air conditioning, and I'm loving it. I went outside earlier, and I caught a little video, and I'm not sure if it recorded it or not. I'm barely learning how to function with this equipment here, and there's a lot going on right now for me, so it's very difficult for me to focus on one thing. I'm torn between calling people and looking out the window. And if they see gang members, I think they might go to jail. Because this place was crawling with agents last night. I mean, crawling with them. Wow, it's a crazy transition. I mean, place was crawling with agents, and they had all kinds of security measures going on. They came and cleared the room, they cleared the floor, they cleared the lobby. Anybody who was in there, they freaking evaluated them. And my wife was parked in the parking lot, and I'm on the phone with her. And she said, "Hey, there's guys walking around, you know. I think they're cops. One of them's got tattoos." And I said, "They're agents, you know, they're special agents." And then when we got off the vehicle, we skirted around the side of the building, and we went to a side entrance and came up and came right to the room, which is pretty nice. It's a really nice room. You know, it's got 2 beds. I only need 1, but it has a bathroom, sink, has a refrigerator, all that stuff in it. But I don't have any food. They released me yesterday with no money, because it was a surprise. It was a surprise release. They didn't know about it. This is so crazy. I'm learning how to text with 1 finger, and it's so difficult because these little keys are so tiny. They're so tiny, and you know, it's just it's so easy to make mistakes. But all this new technology is really fascinating for me. I'm a techie guy. I love computers. I love video games. I love all that stuff. And for me, like it's all this stuff is just a learning curve. And I really want to be mindful and take it slow. I want to take it easy. I don't want to force my way into anybody's life. I want to take 1 step at a time. And just that, you know, I want to take my time so that others don't feel pressed or rushed or anything else, and that we don't take any unnecessary risks. I mean, because there is a risk factor, and we don't ever want to become complacent. I don't want to, you know, for the sake of others, you know, because it's not just me that we were talking about yesterday. My handlers and my wife and I. This impacts so many other people. This impacts so many other people, and I mean, it would be just completely so selfish of me and so reckless of me to just disregard every safety protocol we've established over the years. And you know what? There's so many people involved in this, like the director of corrections, the secretary of corrections. I mean, the head of the BPH, the people from the governor's office, and DAPO and Department of Rehabilitative Programming, the parole office, the SSU. People have really invested in this process of me being released because there is a viable threat, and these measures have to be taken in order to ensure the community safety as well as mine. You know, it's not just about me. And I think the primary concern is not just my safety, but the safety of anybody around me. So we've developed some really stringent and well thought out plans to ensure that I'm not overexposed. And it's one of the reasons I'm in a hotel room right now. I'm sitting here waiting to get my identity, and poof, like in the wind, I'm gone. And it's just smart. I mean, I get a view here. You know, I think I'm going to go walking out here tomorrow or tonight with my wife. We're going to take a walk up that hill and down the road, maybe up that hill over there. You know, it's just a beautiful area, and I think it'll be cool enough later on that that we'll, we'll enjoy ourselves. I mean, even if we break a little sweat, I think that's good for us. We need exercise. We need to get out, and we can come back and have a little snack and take a shower. It'll be great. Just these little steps with my wife. It's like I'm her boyfriend, and I ceased being her husband, and now I'm her boyfriend, and we're dating, and it's so fun. It was so stressful in the past few weeks with my wife and I fighting almost over everything, and I believe that was really just part of the stress that was overwhelming for her, for me, for everybody, and now that we're here, and I think it's really I have to start dating her all over again, it's an adjustment period, as much for me as it is for her. It's about her getting accustomed to me and feeling comfortable with me, and learning that there is a possibility of having some normalcy in our lives. As abnormal as my life is, and as abnormal as it may always be, I think that we need that. We need that adjustment period and that dating period where we acclimate to each other, we adjust to each other. And I think everybody in my life needs that. Everybody in my life needs that adjustment period where I adjust to their lives, not them adjusting to mine.
This is Rene Enriquez.